Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. Happy Monday. Quick announcement before we get into today's video. Um, it's about that time of year where I tend to take my own little mini vacation. So, guys, for like the next week and a half or 2 weeks, I'm planning on just spending as much time as I can with friends and family. And please do me a favor. Keep the requests coming in for all the decks that you guys want to see. I plan on, when I coming back, I plan on jumping into reviewing more decks to add to the draft. Finish adding cards to the draft cube and the draft packs, because like these things are really cool. I really want you guys to see that type of gameplay since we found a way to eliminate the glare from those videos. I think that is a great thing for us to do. Additionally, outside of just play videos, I'd like to bring back a couple of the older format videos that we used to do. And I'd like to reinvigorate an older, more carefree game period that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has experienced by showing you guys some of the other side games that it's had. So obviously you guys saw the thumbnail. Yes, we're going to talk some Dungeon Dice monsters here real quick. Yu-Gi-Oh! DDM is still a thing. And in the near future, I plan on showing you guys how to build your own collection and do it very cheaply. Because unfortunately, people value the stuff way too high. But it's not really selling for those high values all the time. It's just a couple of key things. It's a whole thing. I also want to show you guys how, like, I want to say it was WizKids got together with Konami, and we didn't get just hero clicks. We also had a game called Dice Masters. It's a whole other thing. I'd like to show you guys a little bit of that. Me and Celestial have a bunch of them. But I want to talk to you today about the DDM. So, to preface why I have this is because I have a wonderful wife. And what she did was for our 10-year anniversary, which was at the end of, what was it, April? No, May. End of May. She went ahead and ordered this without really telling me she was going to. And what we have here is pretty much something I bought back when like this was available in Kmart for like 20 bucks. She spent roughly, I think she said it was like 30 bucks overall, everything, shipping and handling, just to get this here. What this is not the original. This is actually, and you'll find this sticker here, this import sticker. This is still for the English or like the English version edition of the game. But this was sent for like Mexico. And these were made over in Yeonggakdong, I don't know, Korea. So these were made in Korea. These are the Korean like second wave of stuff. So there will be a couple of like noticeable off instances, like the crest counters on here. Instead of having like the blue beads, these ones have black beads. You'll notice like, yeah, there's a little surface rust. This is like a 20-year-old package. Not everything looks amazing, but it does. Like the old adhesive right here, you can see the adhesive separation, but you can still see the original like Konami Yu-Gi-Oh! Eyeball stickers. Let's see if we can get some focus. There it is. Got them all up and down the sides of the product. On this side you got Yugi, on this side you got Kaiba. You've got the whole list of the characters you can expect to get in this. And as a quick aside for this, I have a second one coming because, again, I want to show you guys how to play this kind of stuff. So my goal was I went on eBay. It turns out that's where she found this one too. I went on eBay and I found them where they had a playmat similar to like this. But the playmat is actually the grid because anybody, and I'm going to pull everything out of here. Anybody who's played on this original like mat that they give you, it's very hard to get the folds out. It's very hard to get the dungeons slices to set, readily. But again, a lot of these pictures on here, they show the original paints, the way the original figures would look. They don't show, like, there is a difference in quality. Like, I don't remember the Knight of Twin Swords being quite so bright pink as being, like, a little more darker purple. So, while it's sort of like an official product, I'm not sure that the quality stands up to the original. But this is still like a very cool, very thoughtful thing. And I wanted to open this with you guys. So the top was open as she made sure that everything was actually in here. So let's as a group just do this. And we'll just go ahead, we'll pull the box off, set this aside. We'll talk about these things first, because this is kind of the cool stuff. They came with these. These are basically like hit markers. Anybody who's played like early Pokemon, again, remember these came out in America. It was like sometime in 2002. So like this is, like I said, this is 22 years old. And then there was a Game Boy Advance game that came out early the next year at 03. So there were like 3 versions of this game. But anybody who played like Pokemon in that early time period, like we had like little hit markers and stuff. I'm not exactly sure why they gave you 4 Monster Lords, considering this is a 2-player set. Again, just this on the other side. For the most part, like this, I'll just set this off to the side for like ever. It doesn't even matter to me. The big 2 things I want are going to be right here. This is going to be our battle mat, and I want to say these were like 13 by 19 or something. And as you can tell from age and everything, there's no way this is setting proper. Now, as somebody who plays Dungeons and Dragons and is a DM, I have like terrain kits, and something that's come up a lot is like how would I play this any other way? I would just simply go and get a terrain kit, and I would use the terrain kit for these squares. Additionally, we got a couple of these. You don't get too many in a single set. I think you get like 2 of every shape, which is okay. They're fully reversible, so everything that's blue on one side is going to be red on the other, and vice versa. And when you're playing, what you do is when you do roll a summon, you'll summon your character, your figurine, on the star. So that's important. And then basically you get 6 squares, you build a dungeon. You choose whether you're playing red or you're playing blue. And then you kind of use movement points and attack points, magic points, trap points, stuff to activate your effects, and activate your ability to move. And the point is to basically hit the opponent's Monster Lord 3 times. Because each player gets 3 heart points total. I mean, there's not too much to the game that the show didn't show you, except how to customize it. And that's another reason I bought another set of this, is I want more of these pieces. But again, like, we could probably make our own. That doesn't seem to be of much difficulty. So let's check the rest of this out. Let's get all these picked up. You do get a small rule book. I did kind of already shuffle him off to the side. This is exactly how I remember the rule book looking. It shows us exactly what sides are on each die. You get 4 different levels of dice. As you can see, the lower the level of dice, the more readily you can summon something. As you need to get 2 or more stars in order to do that. And it looks like we get this in a couple languages. I couldn't decide if that's French. It might be French. Feels like French. We're going to go with the English. Here you go. Here's the advert for the Game Boy Advance game. And again, good way to relive this if you don't want to take up the space. You could go buy that cartridge if you've got somebody with some technical skill, or maybe you're going to a secondhand store where they can refurb and change out the game battery. Yeah, well, you could absolutely take some time and play it. Now, I'm not telling you that emulators are a thing, because I would never do that. But then again, you guys are pretty smart, so you guys could probably figure that out. And it will tell you about different rules, triple summoning, double dice. These are definitely like different things that you could do to make nice house rules. And this is going to be just everything you need. It's a very simple game. It's a very simple concept if you were looking to build your own game. This would be a great game for you guys to look at as far as figuring out what you'd like to do. These are our crest counters, and I'll probably have to take some like WD-40 or penetrating oil, and I'll probably just go ahead and clean off the abacus here because this is moving kind of rough. But then again, like I said, this is 20 years old. It's never been used. So, yeah, you would keep track of the different crests that you would gain. This would be your crest pool. You'd be able to you'd be able to contain up to 10 of any symbol. Movement, attacking, defense. I believe that's magic. I believe that's trap. So it tracks the different skills and how much you could use of each. This is actually going to be really easy for me to like just kind of fix and work. Again, I should and I may still have one of or two of my old crest counters with the blue beads, which would again be really cool. But again, we could just do this with simple dice, guys. Like, again, I'm a D&D nerd. Like, we've got a D10. It's not hard to do. Yu-Gi-Oh's constantly giving us D6 that are all fancy and stuff. Use some of those. So that is neato. The different dice. Oh, geez. Let's get these out of here. I probably should have massaged some of the product before I went to film the video. Make this a little bit easier to get out. I have seen reproduction dice made by fans, people who are trying to keep the game alive. So there's definitely the chance that you could just go ahead and buy custom dice for this, since people are making stuff for this now. But it's cool just to have like an official set of dice. Each player in America would just get their own set of 12. And again, you would get them, you'd segregate them out by their level. And again, these are a little dull, a little more matte finish than I remember them being. I remember the colors being just a bit more vibrant. But this was, like I said, it's a difference in quality. It's a difference in the manufacturer. It's still the Dungeon Dice set. It's just a bit different. So this is not bad, but you could always get new dice, which is cool. The figures, they do a good job of resembling the characters. Again, we got Gearfried the Iron Knight. You could tell that this is, again, the Korean ones. The American ones actually had like a sticker across the bottom that would tell you who's who. I believe the Japanese originals did as well. But that's how you're going to know. Like, this is Gearfried Iron Knight. He's starter. He's 6 from the set. I believe this one to be Strike Ninja. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a Q-tip with some water and try to knock some of the dust off those. Because, again, they've been sitting in this box for who knows 20 years. Just chilling around. We got good old Buster Blader. One of Yugi's ace monsters. Got the Knight. Twin Swords if he decides to grace us with his presence. So again, I mean, these are not as good as the original quality. And I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure I still have a Thunderball over with my D&D figures. So give me a second. Let's see if we can do a cross comparison. A little video magic, right? All right, I'm back. So I did have my Thunderball. So this is the new one. This is the Korean production. This is the Hasbro. As you can tell, the stance is almost backwards. It's like a different stance altogether. His arm's up here. This arm's up instead of arms down. On the bases, you can tell that the one on my right, they're both Thunderball. They're both starter 2. But the one on my right is the American production. And so again, it's like a little sticker on the base. The reds are a little more red. But overall, it is very close as far as like the production. And while I was over there, I actually had two more. I had Crawling Dragon number 1 on the right, and the Twin-Headed Dragon here on the left. So again, as soon as I find their cards, we'll go ahead and we will put these guys into rotation. So that's some extra characters for us to mess with, play around with. Let me pop out the Vorse Raider here real quick. So again, Kaiba favorite here, really cool Beast Warrior. Again, you can sort of see like maybe the years have caused the paint to do a little bit of oopsies. I don't know that I would repaint these as like a collector. I think I would just leave these ones alone. But if I were to find them like really damaged, really beat up, chances are I would give it a shot. Getting into like the Monster Lord, and again, this guy's supposed to be like a based character that doesn't move. Seems like the bottom of this one's coming out. I might repair this figure a little bit, and all it would be is like a little dab of like some adhesive, and we pop that back in there and level him back out. It does look like he's still got some like, you know, starch or something on him to help him separate from his mold. Again, I'm going to clean these off a little bit, you know, age is caught up to them. But this is the character that represents the player. This is basically your avatar. Cool stuff there. And then they came with cards. So the cards are half the fun. And, well, I just tore that package open. Again, they're just cool. They got this kind of like vector graphic for the character in the background. It starts with the name up top, level down here, what their type is here. It's going to be very basic. Now, I do think this guy's entered the TCG at this point. And he does have a spell effect. So for 3 of the spell or magic counter or crest, Thunderball would move straight forward until it hits a monster or an item and then destroy it. It does not move into the space of the destroyed monster, and if it doesn't hit anything, it'll move until it reaches a dead end. So essentially, Thunderball is going to move like a rook. And again, sometimes that's just cheaper than spending movement crests. The rest of the cards stayed sealed in their packages. That one just kind of stuck to the adhesive. The Monster Lord. The Monster Lord is you. You have 3 life points. This thing does not have the ability to defend, but it can retaliate. So again, that's kind of cool. Afterward, I'm going to take these all out, and we are going to sleeve them, starting with this guy. So I do have some sleeves sitting here, and these should still be standard, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Size cards. And so what we'll do is we will sleeve them, and it will keep them that way. So that'll look nice. Again, we're going to have the level 3 Buster Blader. His is a free effect. This monster will not be affected by any attacks or effects produced by any dragon tribe. So I guess this is a tribe. This isn't a creature typing. This isn't an attribute. So this is a tribe. So he's a warrior tribe member. That makes sense. Same thing with the Knight of Twin Swords. This is another warrior. This one's going to be level 2. For 1 movement, he can move 2 squares per progressing crest or movement crest. When this monster performs this effect, he cannot make regular movement, which is fine. The ×2 attack can perform 2 attacks against 1 monster for every 2 attack crests spent. To use this, an even number of crests must be spent. However, this monster does not have to use all the attacks. And so what that basically means is like you can go ahead, you can go ham. You could spend 4, but you might KO your opponent in the 3rd attack. So you don't actually have to spend the 4th one. It's not that serious. It's basically a do as much as you can effect. They get a copy of the Strike Ninja in here, which is cool. Strike Ninja can move 3 squares for every progress spent, but cannot make regular movement in the same turn. Good stuff. Vorse Raider, nice little level 1 here. Again, loving the vector art. Just cool stuff. And then last but not least, Gearfried the Iron Knight. So, again, I think the cards are cool. I can't wait to have another set of them. when the second set comes in, guys, I will make you another video. I want to show you guys the mat, even if that's all I'm doing. If it is the same, we should have some more of the crests. We'll have some more of the figures. Real quick, the other like basic rules you need to know if you're going to play this in America. What is your limit of stuff? Because there are items that were released in some of the sets. I think in America we got 4 sets because of lack of sales, lack of interest at the time. Like this would go crazy right now, especially if they release this again in the form of Speed Duel, where they give like a small set here, a small set there. Konami, I'm saying, I'll be your playtester. Send me some stuff. But I think this would go crazy today. Because number one, everybody likes little figurines. Anime figures are hot. I think the collector's aspect of it is nice. But the fact is, everything was unique. So, like, you could collect Gear Free DR Knights, and you could trade with your friends, and you can have an entire bookcase full of this guy. But as a player, you can only ever use one at a time. And 10. 10 is the magical number. So if you are playing, you get your Dungeon Master, you get your... Is that what he was called? You get your Monster Lord. And when you play as the Monster Lord, this is you. He does not count towards your 10. So if you were to buy the starter pack, even if you bought it twice, you could only use one of each of the characters that you start with. So like right now, this would be my setup. And even though I have this extra Thunderball here, I'd have to choose between the two of them. And honestly, it's like choosing for artwork, since they do have different stances. So I would be able to do this, and then I would be up to 8 characters now, because I would have the Twin-Headed and the Crawling Dragon 1. It is kind of crazy in like retrospect, and I imagine a lot of you are going to swarm to eBay real quick to check this out. You guys could find a set like this, and you guys could find the set very cheap. Like I said, Celestial, she got this for me for roughly $30. I'm buying the other one for like $45, but it comes with a mat too that they made. So like that's a really cool tie-in sale. But that gives me and her the ability to both play a full starter set. It should be pretty okay. I'd love to show you guys some of the differences between here and the Japanese version of the game. To that extent, I do have a Japanese figure on the way. Their dice are a little different than ours as well. So I do hope to show you that stuff. But for now, guys, I want you guys to do me a favor, okay? Because I won't see you guys for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, I'll see you guys in the comments section, and I'm going to do my best to keep up with it. But I'm not going to see you guys for a little bit. So I want you guys to remember, send in all of the requests. Okay, Speed Duel. I'm gonna tag into a little bit more of Common Charity. I want to know what you guys want to see in Edison format. Somebody asked for a Cyber Dragon build, and that has been boggling my mind. So like I'm still trying to do that. So if you're watching this, please do not be discouraged. I want to make sure that I can do your request justice when I do it. But whatever the format is, let me know what you guys want to see. If it's advanced format, try to keep it retro, because I stopped buying all the newer stuff. Unless you guys saw me do an opening, I didn't have cards from sets. So do the things, guys, but do the one thing, okay? Stay well. Make sure that you guys maintain that mental health. Okay, I won't be there every other day, 4 days a week, to tell you guys to take the time for yourselves. But I need you guys to do that. Like, I need you guys to be well. I want you guys to enjoy it. Focus down on some hobbies. Take some time for yourself. You guys are worth it. Okay? Now, I'm going to go take some time for myself. I'm going to go spend it with my family. I'm going to spend it with my beautiful wife. And I'm going to spend it trying to think of how I can come back and make more cool videos for you guys. Because, let's be honest, I wouldn't still be on here doing this if you guys didn't make it so awesome for me to do. So for now, my friends, have a wonderful time, and I'll be back before you know it. See you later.